tell us who you are, what you do.
For sure. So my name is Rostislav. I'm one of the product managers at Printify, and I'm in charge of the platform experience, building out the tools that merchants need in order to run successful businesses, and figuring out how to grow the platform based off of merchant expectations.
Yeah, and my name is Davis, and I'm part of the acquisition team, and I'm helping more people to discover Printify. And hopefully today we'll show you a brief introduction into the platform.
Okay. So did you guys get the screen sharing software downloaded? It's just a simple Chrome extension. You guys got all that, right?
We have it.
Okay. Go for it. Because once you guys get done there, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the Printify catalog, and we're going to look at, okay, if we need an average order value of at least $18, or maybe we're only getting 10 sales a day and we need an average order value of, you know, we have different goals and we want to have an average order value that's a little bit smaller. We only want to make $3,000 a month. What we're going to do then, once you guys get everything set up there and get on board, what we're going to do there is we're going to go through and we're going to look at how to put those together and maybe how to combine those if we have enough time and interest in WooCommerce, how to combine things like a Gildan shirt and a coffee mug, for example. So you guys take it away.
Cool. So hey guys, so this is Rostislav here, and I'll basically give you a quick walkthrough of Printify dropshipping, and I'll show you over here I have one of my own test stores that I have running on WooCommerce. I'm not actually a merchant, but I do some drawing and illustration on the side. And so I've kind of set up a store with Printify, also running on WooCommerce. So yeah, so basically Printify is a print-on-demand dropshipping platform. I'm sure you guys have already done some of the initial research on what it does, but what it really allows people to do is to kind of be able to start selling different branded merchandise such as, you know, t-shirts, to kids clothing, to accessories such as laptop sleeves, different kinds of bags. We've got jewelry, so you name it. Phone cases. I heard you mention hats earlier too, which would be like over here. So we've got hats, we've got mugs in the home and living section. And so we've got a wide catalog of products, and every single one of these products are customizable with an artwork, with a design, with text, you name it. And the beauty of what Printify allows people to do is that merchants can go in and they can add their designs onto all of these different products. They can list them in their e-commerce store, like I have over here, where I've got all of these products that are listed with my own personal artwork and illustrations. And all of these things are ready to buy, ready to purchase, but they only get made when a purchase actually happens. So that's the on-demand part. So it's print on demand. And so you're able to actually start an online e-commerce business without having any inventory, without having to worry about the logistics, really only concentrating on actually running your online store, getting your designs, and selling. And so what happens is that when you publish a product onto WooCommerce.
Now, can I ask a question right there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why is that important? Why is that important that you empower anybody in the world to be able to literally create a drawing, or create a illustration, or create a design, or even use something simple like text? Why is that important that you empower anybody to do that? Think government shutdown and people out of work. There's your segue. There's your segue right there.
Yeah. So, well, basically, if you really think about it, previously there used to be, when you wanted to kind of get into this kind of a space, there were a lot of barriers to entry, right? You needed to understand logistics. You needed to figure out where you were going to source your products. You needed to figure out actually how to get those designs, work with the printers, figure out how you're going to ship all these items, set up all of those partnerships, pay for the warehousing, pay for the inventory space. You'd actually have to predict your demand and think, okay, this month I'm going to sell this amount of items. Next month I have to be ready to scale. And that's a lot of information that you need as somebody who actually wants to get into this industry, that now you really don't need any of that, right? So now if you go onto Fiverr.com, you find yourself a talented artist or designer, you come up with some concepts. So you go to Google, you do some research on what people are searching for, go to Amazon, find out what people are buying, come up with some concepts, find a niche, and then pay a designer to generate some designs. Your store is up and running in less than an hour. So in less than an hour, you're actually ready to start selling, and you don't have to worry about any of that. And so now
that's totally awesome, because you can literally create, you know, I don't want to, if you've ever been around the internet a lot, you hear a lot, we're printing money, this wonderful growth sales hack, this blah, 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 blah. Literally, you can create revenue with a Fiverr gig, or a graphics artist, or you know, your uncle's cousin's sister's third cousin's kid made artwork, and you love saving the endangered unicorns. You know, that's a big deal, that you can just simply jump onto Printify, and all you have to do, and we'll get into this later, but all you have to do is simply find, I think we calculated it out to 15 sales a day. With the profit margin that Printify offers, the profit margin that Printify creates, you're literally taking a cause, a mission, or even an existing WooCommerce store, and you're literally able to create that margin spread, because Printify's prices are so affordable, and it's so easy to get on board with them. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Exactly. And one point that is also worth mentioning is that with the classic dropshipping model, you get products that are all basically the same. Anyone can start dropshipping them after them. But with Printify, what you do is you create unique products for a unique audience. And I think that is why you can price them so much higher than regular products dropshipped from Asia or other countries.
Yeah.
Right.
Why don't I actually show you guys how fast and easy it is to really create a product on Printify? And so let's just jump to do that. So I'm going to go and I'm going to show you guys. So Bella Canvas 3001. So we sell a lot of t-shirts, and we help people sell a lot of t-shirts. This is our most popular t-shirt by far. And so I'm going to show you. So when you go to our catalog and you open up a page, you'll see all the information on the actual t-shirt, what kind of a fit it is, what kind of fabric, everything about it. You can scroll through some of the images to get a sense of what it looks like. And then down here, this is also what makes Printify unique, is that we actually give merchants a choice of who to work with, right? So you can find a local print partner that you know, or one that you know is renowned for its quality, and you can compare them based off of their price, the typical production times, different kinds of print areas. So each company offers their own, you know, they have their own printers, and they also print on different areas of the garment. So if you want neck label printing, you want to be able to print on the sleeves, you might choose ArtGun, right? And so we kind of give merchants the choice of really selecting which partner you want to work with. And so I'm going to go over here to our most popular partner, DJ. They're most popular because they've got pretty good consistency, and they also have great color selection. So you would click Start Designing, and immediately you would end up on our mockup generator. Now over here, you simply add your design, and over here, we've got a bunch of them. So I'm going to choose a Printify test print that we use, right? And then you go in to variants and costs, and this is where you choose which colors and sizes you're going to sell. So now WooCommerce, like every other sales channel, has limitations over how many variants they actually allow you to publish. So these are, every size and color is its own variant. I'm sure you guys are familiar. So although we have a lot of colors, I actually have to make a choice for which ones I want to sell. And just for the sake of getting this going, I'm going to uncheck a bunch of options really quick till I can move forward. I'm still at 200 out of 100. Let's remove a few more sizes. And voila, right? So I hit save. And then once I've got my artwork positioned, I can scale it, I can move it, I can add another layer here. This is artwork for a friend of mine. He's in a band. So, and then I hit next. So once let's assume that I position everything as I want, I want this over here, I want that over there, then maybe I want also to print on the backside of my garment. And so on the backside of my garment, I'll also put something. This is an illustration of my own personally. I'm a big fan of yaks. So I hit next once I've got my artwork positioned. And then I end up over here where I actually get to see all the mockups that are generated by Printify. So this is one of the reasons why this is actually so fast and so easy, is because although these products don't exist and they won't actually exist until somebody purchases them, we're able to give you the absolute realistic mockups that show you exactly what this product is going to look like in high definition. And so these actually get published to your store. People can see we actually put in a lot of work. In the future, we're working on different kinds of mockups with people in environment settings, all to give merchants more options about what to sell, right? So you have all of these mockups that are generated. You hit continue. And then here you get to the title and description. So now we auto-generate it for you. And so we kind of say, these are the basic things, but you can title this as, yak t-shirt, don't care, because that's the artwork, right? And then I would write my own description. Maybe I would also like to add a size table, right? And this shows exactly, I'm offering small and medium, and these are the dimensions. So I hit continue. And then here I actually set my prices. So it tells you over here in the cost section how much it's going to cost to print your item. And you can see that there's actually a range, and that's because some colors are less expensive than others. But I'm just going to.
Listen, I want to pause you right there, because in your cost of your shirt selection, which one did you pick right there?
This was the DJ printed Bell canvas shirt, and I can explain why the costs are currently $13 here. It's because we chose two print areas, the front and the back. So there's different pricing. So if we go back to the designer,
yeah,
and we've just one, which is the usual scenario.
Yes.
And do the same exact thing, then you'll get the same exact price that was listed in the catalog, $8.32 for the regular sizes.
I brought a small list, a small stack of every WordCamp, everything possible. Right, this one is from WordCamp 2015 in San Antonio, Texas. And as you can see, this one right here, it only has something on the front. And that is what most, let's see, what is this one from? That's what most shirts are, is just that one. This one is from Treehouse, and it's only got one print on it. So, for everybody that's watching this and going to watch the replay, it's really easy to get your costs down, because Printify just came out with an updated pricing chart. And if you look at, and I'm sure you're going to go over this later, what I'm calling the discount plan price, or the discount plan club, Printify calls it the premium. I'd rather see it be labeled as the discount plan price, but I think it's a much better way of phrasing it. But this is what I want to send out to everybody that's watching this later on, is Printify's new spread, because your margin that we're going to go over later to get to around three grand a month is awesome. So okay, go ahead with your current $8.32, $8.50, which is great for cost.
Absolutely. So I'm going to set my price to 25, 35, 25, typical selling price. And what you'll see is that means that I've got a 16.5 profit margin right now at 66%. Now this is before shipping. So shipping is going to take a little bit about that away, but I'm going to roughly earn around $10 per t-shirt sold. So I hit continue. I'm going to publish this product to my WooCommerce store. And then you see basically the publishing starts. gonna wait a second.
So while that's waiting, in the last 10 years, I think I've done every one of these. Scalable press, I can no longer put my endorsement behind them, although they have sponsored even WooConf itself. The last correspondence I got from them is that they are done supporting WooCommerce. The beautiful thing here about Printify is that there is no additional plugin. Every bit of what these guys just did, it completely ran straight through. They've got the storefront theme loaded up here. This completely ran through the API. Nothing else. No additional plugins, no nothing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, so as you can see, it takes a second for the images to all load. But basically now, this was less than a minute and the product is already live on my store. I've got a title image. I can open it up. The title came through, the price all came through, and all of the variants get synced. So if I change this to mint, the image will change in a second. My internet connection might be a little bit slow. But so you get the idea. The description all comes through, the size chart all came through, and everything is ready. I do have a typical storefront theme, so that's kind of what's working. And so
you're telling me every one of those images came through automatically?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, say that again.
Automatically.
Automagically. Magical unicorns got into the interwebs and automatically took every one of those. So you now have, how many on that one? Like 15 different colors?
So it's 80 variants in total. And yeah, something like, well, let's see. More. Almost 20 colors. And all of these images are here. And you can kind of scroll through and they're all created and people can buy them.
So this really opens you to the opportunity to scale your business beyond what was possible like a few years ago. So the product count you can have is only limited to your imagination and your ability to find new niches to market to, new combinations of persona and targeting. So it really now is at the hands of the internet marketing entrepreneur.
And then that's what I think is the beautiful thing here. And I think it may be an underutilized selling point also, is that a lot of times, you know, I've done this, and I know a lot of people in our group have had to do this, and they're going to get the replay of this, and they're going to go, God, that's me. A lot of times we've got to take these, you know, these images, because images sell. Images are important, and we've got to take whatever we've made, and we've got to go open up our paint.net or our photo editor, or we've got to pay somebody else, maybe from Fiverr, to go put our image on top of the blue coffee mug, the red t-shirt, the green t-shirt, you know, all things like that. I think it's absolutely underutilized and cannot be said enough that Printify does all of that, every bit of that for you, and automatically pushes it to your storefront. You've done nothing extra, nothing else additional, no extra time, no extra bourbon, no extra Tylenol.
No extra bourbon. So let's also demonstrate. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to buy my own product here. And so it adds to the cart. I view the cart and we'll see the orders also come through literally within a few minutes. And so I've got both of these. I've got my own RR test coupon, which should make everything free for me. And it does. Proceed to checkout. You guys have my address.
I'll see if I can blur that out later. Not too good at editing video.
Yeah. So all standard WooCommerce stuff. I'm using Stripe as my checkout vendor. I've also got the PayPal installed. So this is all working, running on regular WooCommerce. I haven't updated to the very last version because I forget about this website, but
We've
And
only got 1 or 2 URLs sitting out there that we forget about.
So there you go. So the order number has been received. Everything's there. And so you'll see now if I go to my order section, within a few minutes, maybe even less than 1 minute, this order should appear here at some point. What was the order number?
4572.
Yeah.
First
So
column there, we have 2 days.
It takes a second, but we'll see this kind of here very shortly.
Okay, so as that's coming through, let me go back and say for the average, for the average WooCommerce, for the average WooCommerce store owner, this is very powerful and important because, remember, it's always about the why behind the what. This is very important because if you're selling custom stickers, if you're selling those beautiful little baby calligraphy art, or motivational artwork and posters, things like that, you can always find something else. And with Printify, the something else category is almost endless. And that's the beauty of it, is that you can have additional revenue coming in from, I mean, I know a lot of people are into the cannabis hoopla. If you want to say, okay, look, I want to give all orders over $50 a free t-shirt. Well, that only costs you $6. And depending on your profit margins, you can work the numbers backwards from there. But with Printify, they've now got an additional order, or you can say, cannabis, pot, legal, medicinal, whatever. All of that is a great cause. All of that is a great thing or a mission. So you can put that on different items from Printify. And you can then say, okay, I want to generate an extra $3-5 grand a month. And Printify is going to do all the work. Did your order come through yet?
Let's see. Not yet.
Okay.
My settings might be a little wonky.
Okay. So tell us what in your experience, what are the we'll take that screen share off for a second. In your experience, what are the top selling products that you've found?
So again, it's the Bella Canvas 3001. So these t-shirts are really pop. Davis actually probably knows a little bit more about
the
this.
Bella Canvas 3001 is, you probably heard it 1,000 times. It's why it's so popular. It's because it's ring spun cotton. It's a premium t-shirt for the price of $7.77. You really can't beat that, as it's 100% soft cotton. And you'll have zero problems with it. It doesn't stretch, it doesn't fade. It's a really premium class garment. So that's what most of the successful sellers opt to start out with. But as you mentioned previously, that's just a base. You start out with a t-shirt, and then you sort of start to model the persona a bit. What else could he be into? And you can combine, because as you all know, a vital part of a successful e-commerce store is upselling and cross-selling. So let's imagine you have these Yak t-shirts already on your store, and you're making like some regular users do 500 per month. Now it's time to evolve and build up on that. And the next step, or second most popular item, is mugs. And okay, we're not in the catalog screen share yet, but
turn it back on.
I'll turn it quickly back on so you can see.
Turn it back on. Turn it back on.
It's yeah. Button.
Yeah.
It's the turn it back on button.
It's that. So yeah. If we quickly skip the mugs, you can see why. Because you can get a custom printed mug from $3.43. that leaves, as you all probably guessed, a lot of room for a nice, healthy profit margin. And that's why it's probably the second most popular item that all the successful merchants opt to start out. So
Yeah.
besides mugs, I would suggest to take a look at the home and living category, as not only it has some of our best sellers, it also have these niche products like pillows, bedding that you wouldn't think of maybe immediately when you think about print on demand and dropshipping in general.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at them, then again, the profit margin that you can mark up for a $30 product will net you bigger returns in the long term than some of the cheaper alternatives, because let's face it, you can only mark up so much for a sticker.
Well, okay, and go back a second and talk about, because you know, even if you're a yak lover, if you want to save the endangered, you know, if you want to save the whale, save the dolphin, you know, hug a tree, or have any kind of empowerment movement, as we're seeing all over the news probably every day. You know, this is a big deal, because all of these prices that you're showing people, is this on the discount plan?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Most of our users opt for the discount plan, like in like 2 weeks of their operations. I would say once they get their first sale, that's a no-brainer to go to the discount plan, because it's like on average a 20% discount on everything for a small flat subscription monthly fee.
Right. So I've got a shirt right now that's loaded up in. I'm gonna spin up another store right here, you know, later on, and we're gonna do more webinars on this. But I've got one right now about Trump ending the shutdown. I'm looking at the back end of my screen, and it's $6 and a couple of cents. So to sell that for $15, you know, or something like that, that's a good deal of profit, even if I don't opt into the Printify Premium, which I think it's crazy not to, because it's what? How much is Printify Premium?
It's $29 per month. So it's I would think you sell one or two products, it already makes sense to jump on the wagon without anybody else and just make yourself that little bit more competitive.
Right. And on average, what is the average order value that you think, or you perceive, or I don't know if you have the metrics of it, but what is the average order value for your that you ship out? Is it one shirt at a time, one mug at a time, or do most people sell more than one item to a customer?
So let us quickly jump in our analytics and get the right data for you guys. So as I'm looking right now, it seems that the average order contains 1.2 items. So I would say every 5 orders, one is with multiple products in it. So you can count on similar statistics also for your store.
Okay, so that's 1 in 5. So what we need to do for the store owner is say, how can we help you bundle this? Because can you see this right here? Okay, it
Yeah.
may not be enough, but if you to get $4,000, okay, that's $133 of profit that you need a day to get $4,000 a month.
That's correct.
I love some of these webinars and some of these sales pages and all this other hoopla. I'm from Texas. You got to skip the shit with me and get to the point. $4,000 is $133 in profit a day. If you want to get to that, a whopping 10 orders at $13. So you've already gotten half of that profit from one shirt. So you're saying that 1 in 5, 1.2. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, so what other ways do you think that Printify can help people understand the value in creating those bundles, like buy a shirt, get a mug, or buy a mug at $15. Free shipping will include free shipping. Buy a mug.
That is the power. I would say that is definitely the power of the upsell apps, because imagine you're targeting, for example, let's say yoga goers, and you're invested in your marketing spend, your advertising tactics, and you get this client interested in a pair of yoga pants, and your margin for that is on average like those $13 to $15, depending on your price. What you can do almost instantly is offer, okay, you're interested into these pants, but wait, let's see more. We have mugs, we have yoga mats, and sort of build the imaginary world in the eyes of the customer that you can have the full set, and then you'll have no problem averaging those $133 per day.
Well, and if there's yaks that wear yoga pants, that would be an immediate upsell right there, would it not?
It would, because it's a super dialed in niche that you'll have zero competition on, and I would imagine it would work very well.
Right. Okay. So that's a thing that I really want to make sure that people understand. You know, I want to wrap this up so that we can, so that I can get this published, not just for the 15 or so people that are on live right now, but so that we can get this published up there. With Printify, what we can do is really generate some revenue, because the margins are so great and the products are so vast. The setup is insanely easy. The prices are even better if you sign up for, you know, what you guys have labeled the Printify Premium account, which, you know, again, I'm gonna 100% make sure that I communicate it as a discount plan, because that's exactly what they're doing, and I'm gonna make damn sure that people know it is a benefit when you sign up for this premium account, because you're getting a huge discount across the board.
Sure. And I'll leave just one more thing for you guys, everybody watching this live, and also the recording, to think about your own stores. Is well, we showed the average profit margin for a t-shirt is like, let's say $15 for a completed design. But imagine if you allow the customer to add their own customization on top of it, then you create a lot more value for the customer, and you can also charge adequately more for the product. For example, we had yak shirts, but let's say you add the name yak shirts and the person's name, for example, Dave is yakking all day, then it becomes super personal, super relevant, super close to home, because it's made specifically for that customer, and you can jump from your $25 per shirt to $35 easily, and that's something we see is trending right now really much. So I would suggest everybody to think about that one.
You're saying that if somebody adds via a plugin or something like that, if somebody lets the customer add their own option, maybe
exactly.
Like
so you put the product with a design and a blank, your text here, for example, or your name here, and the customer leaves the name into the note, either sales or sends an email afterward. Doesn't matter how you obtain the information. The point is that you can fulfill it one by one. If you would have an inventory, it would not be possible, because you could not predict the names you need to put on the orders. But this way, it basically doesn't require much more work.
Well, and if you've ever worked with screen printing, cleaning the nozzles on a direct-to-garment machine is not fun. I never want to own my own. You guys have fun with that. but listen. So show us how there's that I totally forgot about. But as well as the shipping, I have a question on shipping notifications and if you can pass those through the API back to the customer's email. But I want you to get back to that part about customizing the shirt. Show us how or in what way that information, okay, you know, you let's say you've got a shirt that says blank loves yak. So I want you to put in the word Davis.
Well, we're not going to put it right now because what you need to do is exactly the same as we did previously. You have the design, but you need to have the additional layers. So your simple photo editor will do fine for it because you cannot type directly into Printify the name, but you do even painful suffice for you because you only need the word, and you would add it as a second layer into the editor.
Okay. So so if there's something like, you know, Stanislav or Jimbo loves,
just prepare it in a simple editor, upload it. It will take you a minute to do these custom orders.
okay, and then you can pass that over to Printify as a one-time order or something like that. Okay,
Exactly, one time.
so
Yeah.
the other thing that I didn't ever really even think of to ask, after the order ships from whomever, from whatever, you know, wherever, it doesn't matter. Is there any way for, or can you integrate something that then sends that tracking info through, again, through the WooCommerce store owner's API straight to the customer?
Absolutely. All of that happens. There's nothing actually extra that you need to do. Because we're able to pull orders from WooCommerce, we're also able, in the same way that we're able to publish the product to your store in the first place, all tracking information gets sent automatically. So as soon as it's available on Printify, it pushes through WooCommerce, through webhooks, and then basically it publishes into the field, and then your customers get an email notification. So it's not an additional feature. It's not anything special. That's out of the box functionality.
Okay, so hold on, pause, stop the presses. I'm getting better customer service through Printify because with every other product, if I want to sell brown billfold covers, okay, and I've got a butt ton of these stuck in storage, I'm selling them, maybe I'm drop shipping them, I've got to jump through all kind of hoops as a store owner to sell brown leather phone cases. I don't have to do any of that with Printify. That's a big deal.
It is, certainly.
He just said that's it, and that's it. It is. That's it. Hold on, that's a huge deal. That is a really big deal because I can't tell you how many people will struggle with setting up their USPS, setting up their FedEx. Oh my goodness, what? This stupid box in UPS says, "What's the padding? What's the padding?" Folks don't ever realize that's the bubbles and a little foam, packing, things like that. But shipping is a whole different bear within WooCommerce store owners. That's why people have gray hair in their beards. That's why people have, you know, a frequent buyers club at the local liquor store. Shipping is hell. You're saying that Printify is going to do all of that and pass that information on to the customer so that the customer gets an email that says, "Yo, your yak shirt's on its way. Thanks for your order."
Exactly, right. Yeah, that's what we did, and that's if we can, we'll show you that the order actually came in that we were waiting on previously. Just a sec.
Do you see our screen? Yeah.
Switch over, perfect. And here's the yak shirt order.
There it is. You can see the order came in. That's the item. It came in with the shipping address, all the information, everything is there. I've got my order settings. You can change your order settings, whether you want it to fulfill automatically or whether you want to control that. a lot of times customers within 1 hour come to you and say, hey, actually, I need a larger size, or hey, I need to change that information. So that's why we also allow customers to set their settings on manual, so that you can allow your end customers that kind of freedom, change it, and only then send an item to production by simply hitting fulfill.
Boom, it's done.
That's the magic button.
That's the magic button. Whoa, that's also the magic button.
Well, and so that's a big deal for the customers that are running WooCommerce, because it's incredibly easy and simple, regardless of what they're selling already. You know, I mean, if they've got an upsell plugin, if they want to add, you know, a bunch of images, if they want to add all the alt, description, all that stuff, you know, you're already passing in 20 more images. You're already passing in all of that stuff and feeding all of that into their store. You know, there's one example that I'm thinking of right now. A lady had a leggings store, and she's got a bunch of adult leggings left, and they obviously don't make them. They're imported. But, you know, she's got a lot of opportunity to upsell those people on a lot of other products. And, I just kind of went over with her, hey, I think you're missing out on a lot of revenue, because all of these inbound searches are looking for stuff that you now have out of stock.
Exactly. So
to, you know, if you're selling $20, $25 leggings that you imported, you've got to pay customs, you've got all of that, and she had a warehouse and all that stuff. When those run out of stock, even if you run over to a print on demand place and say, okay, look, I'm going to activate this product real quick, at least you can still, I mean, the profit margins are not going to be as high, but at least you're not losing that revenue off of that inbound traffic. That makes sense?
it certainly does. I can grab them like mug just from our sample room to show you it really is.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, we're not just in the laundromat. This is the Printify sample room. This is where all of our print providers and all of our partners, all the items that we're actually offering on our platform, we order each and every one of them ourselves to check the quality, to see
Just a quick showcase, yeah. So see, here's for example, the mug we talked about earlier, printed from both sides. A really nice upsell feature for those leggings you mentioned, because if you think about more, you have to think more about your customer. She does yoga. What else could she be into? Maybe coffee. Coffee is a really popular thing right now. So we have coffee cups, tumblers, phone cases. Maybe she wants to put her favorite cup on the phone, right on the phone case, custom printed and shipped. Or if it's cold outside, then you can even do embroidered hats. That's not printed. That's actually embroidered right on the hat.
Nice.
So I think, as I said, your imagination is only the limit to what you can do.
Yeah,
cool.
And to follow up on what Davis said, it's really that's one of the advantages is that, you know, you can also test out a design without ordering 25,000 units of it. You know, It's like you think that this is something that's going to sell. Within 15 minutes, it's on your site. You throw some marketing behind it, run some Google Ads traffic, see if people buy it. All of a sudden, you see, no, people aren't buying it. It's gone. I didn't really lose any money other than whatever advertising I put to run that experiment.
That is a big deal, because a lot of retail places that have leftover, this is what we're going through right now with one of my retainer clients. They've got all this leftover Christmas stuff. And, you know, when you have print on, I can't say this enough, take your existing traffic, throw in your WooCommerce site, throw in some products from Printify. At the end of December, when you're done selling sweatshirts, your Save the Dolphin, your yoga campaign, all of your soccer mom blogger traffic, whatever, healthy yoga, granola, crunchy mom, whatever, all of that traffic now, you can go switch it over to tank tops. You don't have to do anything. You're not stuck there with all this inventory going, okay, do I donate it to Goodwill? Do I try to sell it back? Do I offer discounts? Do I have to inventory it? I'm paying payroll for people to, it's literally taking up shelf space in this young lady's store. You don't have to do that with Printify. You've got the same mission, the same cause, the same traffic, and you just simply go, okay, look, instead of selling hoodies, we're now selling tank tops. And it's that
if the season changes, if the trends change, you can change with them with basically minutes to spare to change your inventory, to change your focus audience, to change even to leave the same designs but change the products. Also doesn't cost you a thing.
right.
So
I think we got all the questions. Did you guys have anything? I think we got all the questions answered.
yeah, if anybody from the audience wants to ask one last question before we have to run, shoot. If not, then I guess good luck.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys on Printify.
All right, folks, we appreciate it. Great afternoon. And hey, thanks again for doing this. I appreciate it.
Thank you too, Brad. It was a pleasure.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.